Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. I've got this Indian bridal for you today. This was one of my real brides. Her name was Hema, and this tutorial will be in Urdu and in English, so carry on watching. Okay, so my bride today, she had on lashes extension, so she had those done, so I didn't need to add any eyelashes today. Now also she'd had brow lamination done the day before. Now they looked absolutely stunning, the brow lamination. Obviously it's not for everyone, but obviously they did look really nice. But what I did find is when I started using the NYX pomade, so I tried to keep the shape, brush them down a little bit just to see, because in a bridal it doesn't always look right. So I started off doing the brows, but they were quite, because obviously they were pushed up from the inner corners, and because I brought them down a bit, it just didn't look right when I was actually filling them in. So I spoke to my bride about it, showed her a mirror and showed her exactly what was happening, because we didn't want them to be too big either. So I was just showing her how, obviously from the start of her eyebrows and the shape, so we decided that we were actually just going to bring the eyebrow down, fill them in, and not actually have them lifted up, because she wasn't quite happy with the way they were looking either. So I went in with my Louise base and started in, obviously, just carving out the eyebrows. Now I didn't carve too much on the top side, when you'll see in a few minutes, because I just wanted to see what the whole looked like and then bring them down as much as I needed to later on. So I've gone in with my base now, and this is the Louise base in Rumour shade 2, and I'm just patting this down with a flat synthetic brush, and then I'm going to apply my eyeshadow. So brows को मैं बस बता रही थी कि मेरी bride ने obviously false lashes पहले से लगाए हुए थे, so I don't need to add false lashes. ब्राउज़ को ना वो लेमिनेशन जो होता है जहाँ पे ब्राउज़ को आप ऊपर कर देते हो वहाँ पे सेट करते हो, बहुत नाइस लग रहे थे, लेकिन ब्राइडल के लिए मुझे सही नहीं लग रहे थे। इसलिए बात करके ब्राइड से पूछ के ऑब्वियसली, तो उसने भी ये बोला था कि इनको ना नॉर्मल थोड़ा सा डाउन करके तो शेप कर दें। तो काफ़ी मतलब शुरू से थोड़े से नैरो थे फिर थिक जा रहे थे, तो इसको थोड़ा सा बस ये लुईस का बेस लगा है, इनको थोड़ा सा कार्व आउट कर लिया था, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं किया था इधर, क्योंकि मैंने कहा एक दफ़ा देखूंगी पूरा बेस करके कि सही लग रही है नहीं, फिर अगर थोड़ा सा उनको करना है तो सही कर दूंगी। सो लुईस का बेस इस्तेमाल किया है फिर, एंड इसको अभी ये मैंने कार्व आउट कर लिया है आईब्रोज, एंड एक फ्लफ़ी ब्रश से बस सारा जो एक्स्ट्रा प्रोडक्ट है उसको ब्लेंड किए जा रही हूँ। So I'm just using my fluffy brush. You see me do this a lot, so I normally put on my Louise base, and then I add on, I use my fluffy brush just to phase out the edges and blend them all out. So I went in with my Makeup by Mario palette. This is all like nude matte shade, so it's like I forgot to show you the actual shade, but it was just like one of the darker browns. So I'm using a fluffy brush, and I'm using this to pat on the colour. Again, the product is wet underneath, so I'm just patting it on just to get the colour payoff. So I'm going on the outer corners and the inner corners, because in the centre I'm going to be using a lighter shade. I'm not actually blending this out at the moment, you can see. So एक मैट पैलेट से मेकअप बाय मारियो का पैलेट है, ब्राउन आई शेडो ली है, फ्लफ़ी ब्रश से आउटर कॉर्नर पे एंड इनर कॉर्नर पे ना ये पैड करके लगा रही हूँ। नीचे जो बेस है वो गीला है ऑब्वियसली, सो पैड करके सिर्फ अपना कलर कर रही हूँ। बीच में मैंने एक और कलर डालना था लाइट सा, सो वो थोड़ा सा मैंने मतलब छोड़ दिया, इतना नीटली नहीं करी क्योंकि उसको मैंने ब्लेंड करना है। ये लाइट शेड लिया है, तो इसको अभी जो मिडल का एरिया ना वहाँ पे पैडिंग मोशन से पहले अपना कलर लेके आना है, एंड देन इसको ब्लेंड कर दूँगी। So I've just taken that lighter shade of the brown now, and again I'm just using a fluffy brush here, and sorry, not a fluffy brush, the flat shade of brush, because I wanted more of the colour payoff here. So I'm just doing this in, you can see I'm going in upwards and downwards motions first to get the colour right in the middle, and then I'm taking it across the eyes a bit and blending this all out. So एक फ्लैट शेडर ब्रश लेके तो इसको मैंने ये बीच में आप देख सकते हैं ऊपर नीचे कर रही हूँ। पहले जो मिडल वाला हिस्सा है वहाँ पे ज़्यादा मुझे कलर चाहिए था, एंड देन साइडों से थोड़ा सा साथ ब्लेंड कर रही हूँ। So once I'm happy with the colour that I've got, I've gone back in with my first initial fluffy brush, and I'm taking the very first colour that I used, but just a touch of it. And what I'm doing now is just deepening the slight areas where I already had the brown, so the inner and the outer corners of the areas. But I'm really blending this product out now, and I'm not going too dark. So it's just like a gradual effect, so it's slightly darker on the outer and inner, and then you've got the lighter colour on the inside, but nothing too obvious. It was quite blended, so I just blended this out for quite a while and really kind of like got my colours blended out. So ये जो सेंटर वाला कलर ये लगा लिया, एंड देन एक फ्लफी ब्रश लेके जो पहला कलर लगाया हुआ था आउटर इनर कॉर्नर्स को ब्लेंड कर रही हूँ. सो बीच में थोड़ा सा लाइट होना चाहिए एंड साइडों से थोड़ा सा डार्क. लाइक ये कुछ लुक्स होते हैं जहाँ पे हम बहुत ज़्यादा डार्क करते हैं, लेकिन ये बस साइडों से थोड़ा सा डार्क था एंड बीच में से ज़्यादा थोड़ा सा लाइट. एंड इसको बस मैं ऐसे ब्लेंड किए जा रही हूँ अभी. So I blended the product, and now I just wanted to give a little bit of sparkle. I didn't actually want to have any glitter as such. So I've got this highlighter from Fenty Beauty, and it's a really nice, like, I think it's a highlighter, but I've just got a small one, and I just use my fingers to apply this on the eyelids. So I just wanted this in the center, so it gives you a really nice sparkle. It's very fine, so it just doesn't, it's not like full on glitter or anything like that. And I didn't add any product before, I just literally used my finger and dabbed that on. And then I've gone on with the black from the same palette with a very fine brush, and I'm running it along the eyelash line now. So I just get my model to open her eyes as well, just to see how thick I wanted this. So I'm using it like an eyeliner, but I'm blending it all out. I'm just going to the outer corners. So ये स्पार्कली प्रोडक्ट लिया था फेंटी ब्यूटी से, तो ये फिंगर से ही लगाया था. कोई पहले ग्लू या वगैरह इस टाइप की चीज़ नहीं लगाई, तो बस फिंगर से इसको लगाया. ये बहुत फाइनली मिल्ड है, सो ग्लिटर की तरह है लेकिन बहुत फाइन है एंड बहुत अच्छी इसकी लुक आती है. एंड देन ब्लैक आई शेडो लेके तो बस लैश लाइन पे इसको लगा रही हूँ. एक फ़ाइन सा ब्रश लेके आई लाइनर नहीं लगा रही थी, बस इसको ऐसे करके ना तो ब्लेंड कर रही हूँ. और जब इसको आपने ऐसे लगा लिया, बस मैं चेक कर रही थी कि ओबियसली मैं इसका मतलब आईलाइनर नहीं लगा रही थी, बाई नहीं लेके आ रही थी या इसको विंग वगैरह नहीं दे रही थी. एंड देन जो पहला हमने ब्राउन इस्तेमाल किया था एक फ्लैट ब्रश के साथ, बस वो जो लाइन है ना उसको थोड़ा सा ब्लेंड कर रही हूँ. So now I've just gone back in with my shader brush again, and I've just used the very first brown that we used, just on overlapping that black really, and then what I'm doing is just blending out that line. Now I've gone in with Kryolan paint stick on the waterline, and because we wanted to go for like a nude eyeliner look here. So waterline पे मैंने Kryolan की पेंट स्टिक इस्तेमाल की है, जो हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं आइज़ पे भी, एंड रहती है वहाँ पे. कई दफ़ा जो पेंसिल होती है ना उसका लुक सही नहीं आता. एंड देन शार्लेट टिल्बरी का मैजिक क्रीम यूज़ किया, एंड देन अपना जो प्राइमर है वो HourGlass का था. So I've gone in with my Charlotte Tilbury magic cream, and then I'm going in with my primer, which is the HourGlass Veil Primer. And again, I always mention this is make sure you leave a gap between these steps, so let the magic cream or whatever moisturizer you're using absorb and then move on to your next product. And then if you're priming and things like that, anything else, just make sure you give it some time. Again, I've gone in with my Kryolan paint stick now, and I'm just going over the areas that I want to color correct, so under the eyes, around the mouth area, the nose area sometimes, and on the face if there's any bits, and I'm just tapping this and blend it away, and then I'm going to go in with my foundation. So Kryolan की पेंट स्टिक इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ कलर करेक्टिंग के लिए. अभी मेरे पास ये है तो मैं इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ, शायद इसके बाद मैं चेंज कर दूँगी, लेकिन मेरे लिए ये मतलब वर्क करती है. So foundation this time I've gone in for a new combination, Estee Lauder Doublewear, and I went in with Illamsqua Skin Base. So the combination was actually really nice, but I do change my combinations. I never kind of like stick to one, so it just depends on the skin, the person who I've got sat in front of me, and what I think of their skin and what I think will work. And a lot of that comes from experience, unfortunately, and it's not just something I can say, well, on this skin I would just use this, and on dry skin I would only use this. I mean, I may have some likes and dislikes, but it does mostly just come from experience for me. So ये दोनों फाउंडेशंस मैंने मिक्स की थी, डबलवेयर, एस्टे लॉडर की एंड इलामास्का, एंड इसको मैंने ब्रश से, ये रियल टेक्निक्स का ब्रश है, तो बस मैं टैपिंग मोशन से लगा रही हूँ, एंड देन ब्यूटी ब्लेंडर से इसको टैप करके ब्लेंड किया करूँगी. So I'm just applying this with the Real Techniques brush. I didn't actually brush it on this time, but I'm just stippling it on initially, just on the neck area and everywhere. Make sure you do. I go down all the neckline, so obviously we can blend out that foundation over the ears a little bit, the back of the neck as well, especially if the neck's going to be showing. So I've applied my foundation and now I'm gone in with a damp beauty blender. Tapping away, and I tap away for a very long time. You know, you guys know this. I don't show it all on the video, but I do tap away for a long time. So you just got to tap away and make sure that you're really blending that product out and making sure that it absorbs into the skin as much as you can. So डैम्प ब्यूटी ब्लेंडर के साथ मैंने ब्लेंडिंग किया और इसको काफ़ी कुछ मिनट्स के लिए मैं करती रहती हूँ, टैप करती रहती हूँ जहाँ तक मुझे लगता नहीं है कि अच्छी तरीके से ये ब्लेंड हो गई है। नेक लाइन पे बैक ऑफ द नेक सारा आपको करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ओबियसली कलर डिफरेंस हमेशा होता है। इवन अगर आप बिल्कुल मैच भी करो फिर भी फ़र्क ओबियसली आता है, तो इसकी ब्लेंडिंग आपको सही तरह करनी है। So once you're happy with your blend, you can go in with your concealer and start highlighting. I've gone in with the Born This Way concealer in the shade Nude, and I'm just putting this on underneath the eyes, down the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and highlighting the chin area as well. And then I'm going to be contouring with my Fenty Beauty contour stick. So highlighting मैं कर रही हूँ, concealer इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ Born This Way Too Faced का and Fenty Beauty की contour stick। So once I've actually added on my contour wherever I want it, I will actually just start blending that out. I blend it out quite a bit, but I do blend it out more with my concealer later on, so I don't completely blend it out at this stage, and then I start blending my concealer away, and then I kind of like get another beauty blender afterwards and just start blending everything in together. So I'm blending out my contour first. Once I've done the contour, before I start blending out the actual concealer underneath the eyes and everywhere, I do spray the face with my setting spray. So my favourite one at the moment is Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, but you do have to work quite quickly as well, and these steps actually ensure that your base is flawless and long lasting. So it's these kind of steps that actually help it to last longer than just using a foundation that's long wearing, because that doesn't always work, I feel. So when you add these steps in, it does help. So I used to use the MAC Fix Plus a lot as well, just to blend everything out, but I find that when you use a setting spray and blend everything out, you've got an extra layer of protection there, and then when you go in with your powders and things like that, it just builds up, but it doesn't look cakey. None of these things actually make the skin look cakey. So contour को blend किए जा रही हूँ, and then एक दफ़ा जब ब्लेंड कर चुकी हूँ, एंड देन कंसीलर ब्लेंड करने से पहले मैं सेटिंग स्प्रे इस्तेमाल करती हूँ, थोड़ा सा चेहरे पे स्प्रे करके। ज़्यादातर अभी मैं आजकल शार्लेट टिल्बरी का इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि वो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन कोई भी सेटिंग स्प्रे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। एंड देन आप ब्लेंड करोगे हाइलाइटर को। जो हाइलाइटर है ना, उसको ये जब आप स्टेप्स इस्तेमाल करते हैं ना, तो आपकी फाउंडेशन लॉन्ग लास्टिंग हो जाती है। मतलब एक तो होता है ना कि आपने लॉन्ग लास्टिंग फाउंडेशन इस्तेमाल की है 12 घंटे के लिए, जो भी उनका वो दावा होता है कि वो लास्ट करेगी, लेकिन आई डोंट थिंक कि वो हमेशा ऐसे लास्ट करती है। सो सेटिंग स्प्रे जब आप करते हो, फिर आप पाउडर ब्लेंड करोगे, थोड़ी सी सेट हो रही है, फिर आप पाउडर करेंगे, फिर और सेटिंग स्प्रे करेंगे, तो इन तरीके से ना आपकी फुल फाउंडेशन ज़्यादा देर लास्ट करेगी और केकी भी नहीं होती। मतलब ये जो स्टेप्स फॉलो करती हूँ ना, तो मेरी कभी भी मतलब असल में जब ब्राइट देखते हो ना, तो वो केकीनेस नहीं आता, हालांकि प्रोडक्ट हमने बहुत ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल किया हुआ है। So I've sprayed the face, and now I'm just using my little brush from Real Techniques again. I like using this brush to actually tap away the concealer first, and then I go with my beauty blender and start blending away properly. सो ब्यूटी ब्लेंडर भी मैं इस्तेमाल करती हूँ, लेकिन आजकल पहले मैं ये जो ब्रश है इसके साथ टैप करके सारा कुछ सेट कर देती हूँ, एंड देन ब्यूटी ब्लेंडर से भी थोड़े सा सेट कर देती हूँ। नोज़ के साइड पे आप देखें कि मैंने कंटूर की थी, और फिर ये जो प्रोडक्ट है ये नोज़ के साइड पे भी लेके जा रही हूँ, सिर्फ आइज़ के नीचे ये प्रोडक्ट नहीं रह रहा। Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Thank you again for all your lovely comments and all the appreciation I get. I get so many personal comments and messages on Instagram as well, so I really appreciate it. If you do want to follow me on Instagram, it's Shazma MUA, and you can get to see obviously lots more of my work. Here I only put up literally my YouTube videos and things like that, but obviously on Instagram sometimes I have other stuff up as well, so you can have a look there. So I'm just using my beauty blender now just to blend out the harsh edges anywhere that I can see them, and then I'm going to go in with my powder and set. So at this point, before you go into powder, just make sure your bride's not smiling too much or laughing too much, because it's going to actually create fine lines in the makeup and stuff. So always kind of like pat everything away and then make sure you go in with your powder. So I'm using a powder puff, and I'm using my Lauder Mercier translucent powder here, and I find that when you apply it with a powder puff, that's the best way to actually apply it and set it. So I'm not baking here. All I'm doing is getting quite a bit of powder, but I'm really tapping it in until it all blends away. So I'm focusing underneath the eyes first, then I'm going to go to the center of the face, you know, down the nose, the forehead, everywhere I've highlighted, but I don't actually go over all the contour places. So, you know, I didn't really go all over the nose or anything like that, or the side. So you can see I'm just patting away, and on the neck and everything as well. So pat that away really nicely and make sure all the powder has absorbed into the skin. And then I go in with my contour basically, and I go over the contour lines, and this is what sets my contour. So I've gone in with Maybelline bronzer this time. So पाउडर मैंने पफ के साथ अप्लाई किया था लोरा मेसियर का पाउडर, एंड उसको काफ़ी ज़्यादा मैं लेके जाती हूँ, और उसको पैटिंग मोशन से ना उसको सारा मैं प्रेस करती रहती हूँ जब तक वो ऑब्जॉर्व ना हो जाए स्किन में. सो बेकिंग नहीं कर रही थी, सिर्फ उसको मतलब काफ़ी ज़्यादा पैट कर रही थी, और जहाँ पे कॉन्टोर थी वहाँ पे मैंने कोई पाउडर नहीं लगाया था, वहाँ पे मैंने ये ब्रॉन्जर लगाया है, एंड इससे मेरा कॉन्टोर भी सेट हो जाएगा. इसको पहले मैं काफ़ी हैवी अप्लाई करती हूँ, एंड देन इसको ब्लेंड कर देती हूँ अपने पाउडर के साथ एंड ब्यूटी ब्लेंडर या ब्रश के साथ. So I've applied my contour and I've gone in quite heavy, and then I kind of like blend it all away afterwards with my powder that I'm going to use later on with my brushes sometimes, or sometimes with my beauty blender as well. So I'm just going down the sides of the nose as well, quite lightly. I'm not into my heavy contouring onto the nose, and I've just used a fluffy brush for that. So you can see I'm just blending out the harsh edges. Now underneath the eyes, I'm going in with the very first colour that I used on the eyes. I'm using a flat shader brush. Now once you've actually powdered this much, it's quite difficult to get that product to go on, so you have to go in quite a few times. So you can see I'll go in a few times just to get the depth of the colour that I want. Now sometimes if you want to avoid that problem, what you can do is actually do the bottom of your eyes before you've actually started doing the concealer. I do sometimes do that. I might do that in another video just to show you, and you can really emphasize the eyes that way. Sometimes if I really want to really emphasize the bottom of the eyes, and I want to go in with like really dark colors, I might do it that way and then take the concealer around it, but this way works as well. If I only wanted to blend out just one shade, I didn't even go with the darker one this time, and then I really blended it out around the eyes off as well. Gone on with my highlighter, which was the Mercier Manizer. Unfortunately the video stopped recording when I was actually applying it everywhere else, so I've only got this bit. So मैंने पाउडर करके तो अंडरनीथ द आइज़ मैंने जो पहला शेड था वही आइज़ के नीचे किया था. अब मैं यही बता रही थी कि कई दफ़ा जब आपने इतना कंसीलर पाउडर सारा कुछ किया होता है ना, तो कई दफ़ा डिफ़िकल्ट होता है वहाँ पे उस पाउडर का लगाना और उसका शेड आना. तो आपको 3-4 दफ़ा आपको करना पड़ता है, बस बार बार जाओ और उसका शेड आप लेके आए सही तरह. या कई दफ़ा आप ये भी कर सकते हैं कि एक्चुअली कंसीलर करने से पहले आप कर लो आइज़ के नीचे ना, मैं बाद में कंसीलर कर लो. तो इस नेक्स्ट वीडियो में शायद मैं कोशिश करूँगी आपको ऐसे दिखाने के लिए. हाइलाइटर लगाया था सारा, वो वीडियो अनफॉर्चुनेटली उस टाइम मैं रुकी थी, तो बस आइज़ के कोने में आप देख सकते हैं कि मैंने लगाया था. पूरे चेहरे पे लगा लिया था, एंड ये ब्लशर इस्तेमाल किया. लिप लाइनर मैक का इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ, एंड दिस इज़ अ रियली नाइस लिप लाइनर क्योंकि ये बहुत सॉफ्ट है, एंड हर कलर के साथ इवन रेड लिपस्टिक जब लगाती हूँ कई दफ़ा मैं इसको इस्तेमाल करती हूँ, एंड क्रीमी सा है. तो उसके बाद मैंने अपनी लिपस्टिक इस्तेमाल की थी जो टू फेस की है, एंड वो भी बहुत नाइसी लाइक पिंकी कलर की थी, और बहुत ज़्यादा nice lipstick है. So once I've applied underneath the eyes and everywhere, I went in with my e.l.f. brusher, and then I went in with my Cork lip liner from MAC, which is one of my favourite lip liners actually, because I think that colour works on everything. So even if I'm using a red lipstick, I use that lip liner because it blends out really well. It's really creamy. It really bugs me when I get a lip liner and it's not creamy and it doesn't go on the lips very well. When you're doing your own lips, it's actually a little bit easier, I think, but when you're doing someone else, it's really difficult to line the lips. And then I've gone in with my my Too Faced lipstick, melted matte lipstick, which is one of my favourites, and I've used that lipstick. We just put in a little bit of mascara, and that was basically the completed look. Now, I showed my bride and she was absolutely over the moon about the look. It was exactly what she wanted. She was actually a makeup artist herself as well, so I was a little bit scared of what her reaction might be, but she really, really liked it. We went on to do the hair. I haven't got a hair video today. I am showing you when I set the tikka and things like that in a few seconds. The hair, I couldn't get the right angle. It just so I'm going to do another video to show you how I did the hair and explain it properly. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to carry on and show you that we with the tikka and we added the jewelry and everything as well, but this was the actual final look makeup wise. So ये फाइनल लुक था मेकअप का. मैं थोड़ी सी डरी हुई थी क्योंकि मेरी जो ब्राइड थी ये भी मेकअप आर्टिस्ट थी, तो लेकिन इसको बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद आया था. बालों का ट्यूटोरियल आज नहीं किया. ये आपको टिक्का दिखा रही हूँ कि जो लैश ग्लू है टिक्के को मैं कैसे लगाती हूँ. अगर कई दफ़ा टेप यूज़ करती हूँ, कई दफ़ा ये ग्लू यूज़ करती हूँ, तो ये ग्लू बस लगा के तो इसको 2-3 मिनट छोड़ देती हूँ एंड देन इसको सेट कर दूँगी. बालों की वीडियो इंशाल्लाह मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम कोई लेके आऊँगी, क्योंकि इसकी वो सेटिंग सही नहीं हो रही थी तो आपको सही मैं दिखा नहीं पाई, लेकिन यही हेयर स्टाइल फिर दोबारा एक दफ़ा दिखा दूँगी. So all I'm doing is I'm using duo lash glue here. So sometimes you see me use tape, so what I've done is I've just turned the tikka over, applied my lash glue and just left it there. So in the meantime we tend to get other parts of the jewellery on and things like that, and then when about 2 minutes has passed, I turn the tikka over, position it where I want it before pressing it down, make sure the bride's happy, and then we actually press it down properly. So you can see that's what I'm going to do now. So carefully आपने टिक्की को सही कर देना है, इसकी सही तरह पोजीशन लेके चेक कर लें एंड देन उसके बाद इसको सही तरह दबा दें. So we went on and decided my bride wanted to just have a small bindi, so we just had like a plain white bindi, so we added that on and it looked really, really nice and she was very happy, so we decided to go ahead with that as well. So these are self-adhesive, they've already got like a gluey bit, so we just literally just stuck that on. And this was pretty much the final look. So I have got a video coming up as well, so you can see what she looked like with her scarf on. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and hopefully inshallah I'll have a lot more coming for you soon as well. I am trying to upload on a weekly basis, so look after yourself please. I hope आप लोगों को ये look पसंद आया. आगे बस वीडियो है छोटी सी जहाँ पे दुल्हन ने दुपट्टा भी किया हुआ है, and इंशाल्लाह आपके लिए और लुक्स भी लेके आया करूँगी, and I hope आपको ये पसंद आया. इंशाल्लाह मिलते हैं. अल्लाह हाफिज़.